Chapter 14. The Blade's Patience. The Bitter Thorn Tavern reeked of sour ale, charred meat, and the sweat of men chasing coin or death. Its smoky haze clung to Dylan's skin as he stood near the door, the din of drunken shouts and clinking tankards grating on his nerves. His Metallica tea was gone, traded to Mira, leaving him in a scavenged linen tunic, rough against his starry scars, which itched faintly under Bitter Root's grey dusk. The dagger at his hip felt heavier than ever, Caelor's blood still a ghost on his hands. His vow not to kill unless forced, a fragile shield against the crippling doubt gnawing his mind. It whispered he'd fail Lyss, fail them all, a loser from a dead-end town unfit for Eryndor's meat grinder. Veyr and Zariel flanked him, their faces grim, the trio's leads on Lyss's trail converging like a storm about to break. Veyr leaned against a splintered post, his patched leathers streaked with thorn-skull gore, twin swords sheathed but poised, his tarnished amulet glinting faintly. His scarred face was a mask of impatience, grey eyes flicking over the tavern's chaos, but a flicker of concern hid beneath, stirred by Dylan's trembling resolve. Zariel stood by the door, his moss-green cloak blending with the shadows, bow slung across his back, luminous eyes scanning the crowd. His elf senses caught the town's feverish pulse, merchants haggling over glowing sap, mercenaries sharpening blades for jungle runs, but a deeper unease lingered, as if the Bloodwild itself was watching. "Talk, boy," Veyr growled, voice rough as gravel. "What did Mira say?" Dylan's throat tightened, the doubt hissing he'd choke on the words. He forced them out, voice low, to cut through the tavern's roar. "Lyss was scavenging sapphire vines at the river's bend 3 weeks back. Wanted to escape her father's fists. Mira thinks Redfang's bandits might have grabbed her. Gavrick's crew, they forced stragglers to harvest or worse. Her dad Torv drinks here most nights. Mean drunk. Her mum, Elna, barely talks." Veyr grunted, eyes narrowing. "Redfang, figures, scum like Gavrick thrive in this shithole." He glanced at Zariel. "Elf?" Zariel's voice was steady, like a river over stone. "A tanner's wife saw a girl matching Lyss near the river days ago, maybe fleeing, maybe taken. Whispers say Torv's brawls are worse since she vanished. Guilt or rage, hard to say." His eyes flicked to the tavern's heart, where a burly man roared over a spilled tankard. "That's him, I wager." Dylan followed Zariel's gaze. Torv was a bear of a man, mid-40s, with a matted beard and bloodshot eyes, his knuckles bruised and scabbed. He slammed a fist on a table, ale splashing, his voice a slurred bellow as he cursed a trembling barmaid. The sight hit Dylan like a fist, his coastal town's drunks, his mom's faded voice, his own uselessness. Lyss's pain was too close, and the doubt screamed he wasn't ready for this. Veyr's lip curled, a wolf's grin. "Time to work, boy. Get Torv talking. Don't fuck it up." Dylan's heart slammed, his stolen agility twitching in his limbs, but the doubt choked him. "Me? He'll crush me. I'm no fighter." Veyr stepped close, his voice a low blade. "You don't need to fight. You need to learn. Lose second principle, the Blade's patience. It's not just waiting, it's seeing the world clear, every detail sharp, till the moment's perfect. Torv's drunk sloppy, use that, I'll show you how." He gripped Dylan's shoulder, firm but not cruel, and led him to a shadowed corner away from the tavern's din. Veyr's grey eyes locked on Dylan's, his scarred face intense, like he was passing a piece of his soul. "Lou taught me this in that Crindar prison when I was caged, no blades, no way out. He'd sit still as stone and watch the guards, every step, every twitch, every breath. Said the world slows when you master yourself. You don't just wait, you see? The crack in a man's stance, the hitch in his voice, the moment he blinks too long. That's when you strike. Clean, precise, no waste. Patience isn't passive, boy, it's a weapon. Dylan frowned, the doubt whispering he'd never match Veyr's calm. How do you do that? Just sit and see everything? My head's a mess. Veyr snorted, but his tones softened, a rare crack in his armor. It's discipline, not magic. Breathe slow, deep, like you're pulling the air into your bones. Let the noise fade. Tavern, doubts, all of it. Focus on one thing, Tor's hands, say. Watch him move, how they clench, how they shake when he's pissed. Your eyes catch what your mind misses. Time stretches, gives you room to act. He paused, eyes distant, as if seeing that prison cell. Lou had me practice in the dark, picturing a guard's patrol, till I could hear his boots in my sleep. Saved my life when I broke out. Dylan nodded, heart pounding, the doubt hissing he'd fail. Okay, I'll try, but what if he swings? Then you dodge, Veyr said, a grim smile flickering. Your night veil's speed'll keep you alive. Don't draw that dagger unless you're forced. Honor your vow, but don't be stupid. Ready? Dylan swallowed, the tavern's haze closing in. He followed Veyr toward Torv's table, Zariel trailing, his wary eyes scanning for threats. Torv loomed, a mountain of rage, his tankard slamming down as he roared at a mercenary who'd bumped him. Dylan's scars itched, the doubt screaming he was a fraud, but Veyr's words, breathed slow, see clear, were a lifeline. He stopped a few feet from Torv, breathing deep, trying to still his mind. The tavern's chaos faded, the shouts and clinks dulling as Dylan focused on Torv's hands. They were massive, knuckles cracked, trembling slightly as he gripped his tankard. Dylan watched the tendons flex, the way Torv's fingers tightened. When a barmaid passed, his eyes bloodshot and wild. Time didn't slow, not really, but it stretched, each detail sharp. Torv's slurred curse, the bead of sweat on his brow, the way his left hand twitched toward a knife at his belt. Dylan's pulse steadied, his stolen agility humming, ready to move if needed. Torv, Dylan said, voice low but firm, cutting through the din. We need to talk about Lyss. Torv's head snapped up, his face twisting, ale dripping from his beard. Who the fuck are you? He slurred, rising, his bulk casting a shadow. Lyss ain't your business, boy. Dylan's heart lurched, but he held his ground, eyes locked on Torv's hands, watching for the knife. She's missing, he said, keeping his voice steady. Rivers bend, sapphire vines. You know why she ran? Torv's eyes narrowed, a flash of guilt beneath the rage. His right hand clenched, but the left hovered near the knife, trembling. Dylan breathed slow, Veyr's principle anchoring him, seeing the hitch in Torv's stance, unsteady, drunk, his weight on his right leg. The moment felt clear, like a tightrope walker balancing himself, giving Dylan room to act. She ran 'cause of you, Dylan pressed, voice sharp, but not cruel. Your fists. She was scared, Torv. Where'd she go? Torv roared, lunging, his right fist swinging wide. Dylan's agility kicked in, his body twisting left, the punch barely missing his chin. The tavern's haze seemed to part, Torv's movements sluggish in Dylan's sharpened focus. He saw the knife hand twitch, but Torv didn't draw. Too drunk, too slow. Dylan stepped back, hands up, honoring his vow, refusing to draw the dagger. Tell me! Dylan snapped, dodging another clumsy swing, his eyes catching Torv's stumble, the way his left knee buckled slightly. Redfang's got her, don't they? You let her run into that? Torv's face crumpled, rage giving way to a raw, broken snarl. I didn't mean... He sank back, the knife hand falling, his bulk hitting the table, tankards clattering. She took my hits, always did, said she'd leave, get coin from vines. I thought she'd come back. His voice cracked, guilt spilling like blood. Bandits got her, maybe. Rivers bend. I ain't seen her. Dylan's chest tightened, Lyss's pain echoing his own, his coastal town's drunks, his mum's faded voice. The doubt screamed he'd fail her, but Veyr's patience held him steady, letting him see Torv's truth. A broken man, not a monster, drowning in his own failures. Zariel stepped forward, his calm presence easing the tension, his voice soft. Her mother, Elna, where is she? Torv's eyes flicked to the door, hollow. Home, West Edge, by the old mill. Won't talk, won't fight, useless. He drained his tankard, head bowing, a man crushed by his own weight. Veyr nodded, his grey eyes approving, a rare spark of pride for Dylan's restraint. Good boy, you saw him clear, moved when you had to, blades patience, keep it sharp. He jerked his head toward the door. Let's find Elna. They left, Torv slumped, the tavern's din swallowing his misery. Bitterroot streets were alive with dusk's fever, lamps flaring, merchants shouting, mercenaries gearing up for night runs. Dylan led the way to the West Edge, the doubt still hissing but quieter. Veyr's principle, a tool he could wield. Elna's shack was a crumbling heap by a rusted mill, its wheel creaking in the Bloodveil's breeze. The door was ajar, the air inside heavy with dust and despair. Elna sat by a cold hearth, a frail woman in her 30s, her dark hair lank, eyes hollow as a ghost's. Her hands twisted a frayed shawl, her silence louder than Torv's roars. Dylan knelt, his voice soft, Lyss's story cutting too close. Elna, I'm Dylan, we're looking for Lyss. Torv said she ran, you know where? Elna's eyes flickered, fear and shame warring within. Her voice was a whisper, barely audible. She wanted starlight, by the river, sapphire vines to buy freedom. Her hands trembled, a bruise fading on her wrist. I didn't stop her, couldn't. Torv, he's all I know. She looked away, a tear falling. Find her, please. Dylan's throat closed, his own past, his mum's faded voice, his inaction, mirroring Elna's. The doubt screamed he was no saviour, but Elna's plea burned, a chance to be more. His scars flared, sudden and sharp, and the world dissolved. A vision hit, Starshatter's poison surging, a glowing shrine pulsing with starfire, a girl's silhouette, Lyss, running through crimson vines, a shadowed figure with a crystal blade looming, its edge humming with divine menace. Voices chanted Caelith's name, a thunderclap, and Dylan's scars burned, whispering he was tied to the Starshrine, to Eryndor's gods. The doubt roared, he was too weak, a fraud, but the vision's weight hinted his scars were more, a key to Lyss's fate, to Aelthyr's schemes. He gasped, back in the shack, Veyr and Zariel watching, tense. Vision, he rasped, hands shaking. This, the river, a shrine, someone with a blade, maybe Aelthyr's men, my scars, they're part of this. Veyr's jaw tightened, his concern buried under a scowl. God-cursed nonsense. Your marks are trouble, boy, but they kept you alive. Focus on the river's bend. Redfang's there, and Lyss, if she's not dead. He glanced at Zariel, who nodded, his elf senses catching a faint snap outside, like a glint-weave thread breaking. Someone's watching, Zariel whispered. Bow ready, his wariness flaring. Rinso maybe, or Nightveil, we're marked. Veyr's sword slid free, his voice a growl. Then we move fast. River's bend now. Boy, blades, patience. Use it, diet. See the moment. Act clean, vow or no. He led them out, the Bloodwild's crimson glow pulsing. The jungle's murmur, a low threat. Dylan followed, his scars burning thee. Did doubt a cold chain. But Veyr's principle, see clear, wait sharp, gave him an edge. Lyss's trail led to the river, to bandits and maybe the Starshrine's shadow. A snapped twig in the dark, a flicker of silk, Rinso, or worse, set his nerves alight. The Bloodwild didn't care for his fears, only his choices, and Dylan gripped his dagger, ready to face the jaws waiting in the crimson night.